bear with me a sec. I'm gonna try and fucking juggle shit around for a moment. I'm just at the moment setting things up, trying to do it quickly without forgetting shit. Because we don't get forgetting anything, do we? Not really. Everything's plugged in on this side. I've just got to get these on. I just don't want to be hanging around here too long because obviously people want to be using this bay, and you've got to do things right and stop messing about and stop delaying and causing problems and all that crap that goes with it. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it, to be honest with you. Looks relatively straight. I can never get it right, ever. Fuck it. Fair. Fuck it. I'll take these with me. Let's get them audioed up. Hi, hello, this is me talking to you just to sync it up, okay? So, is that enough? Do you think so? I reckon it should be. Okay then. I'm going to I've got to close the back doors as well first, so that's one thing I can do. I'm going to take you down there because I could either leave you here, go and do it, come back, blah, 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 but there's no real need, is there, really, I don't suppose. So let's get on with it. Hello. Oh, upside down. Yeah, I know. Whatever. Shut the back doors first. Have I got the? Oh, that's all right, isn't it? It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I was almost convinced, absolutely convinced, that I've got the shitty type hinges on this truck, but I haven't. I've got nice hinges. Yeah, I can actually reach them fuckers. That's good news, isn't it? Right then, which one are you? You're this way. Shove you one here then, shall we? That's as good as we're going to get it. Are you on the wonk? Just a wee bit. I think that'll do. Be nice and tight. Nothing worse having it loose. That'll do. I think. At least I hope so anyway. Do you reckon? Should be alright, shouldn't it? Okay. This one might need a bit of a play with. But other than that though, I think we'll do it that. Let's go then. Get on our way, sort it out. Yes, okie dokie. 10-4 for a Roger and all that crap that goes with it. Oh, what the hell was that? Fucking... What the fuck's that? Yeah. I don't know what that is, but it's... interesting. Unless it's just the... That's weird. What is it? Don't know. Don't care. I can take my couch off. I don't need my couch on. Oh, that can fuck off. Hit the road. Oh dear. Locked and loaded. We can go. We can go. We can fucking go. I might need to level shit off a bit though. Other than that, we're alright. We're pretty much hunky dory. Turn that off. Are we level? Yeah, just check. No ride information. It's going down, I can feel it. Haha, here we are, see. Bumpty, bumpty, dumpty, bumpty. Oh, and before we do any signing off, I'll get these ready. Get them ready to go. Yeah. Well, not that you have noticed at all, because I haven't told you, but we're at Tesco's. I'm just coming out of it. I'm just coming out. Making sure we got widescreen for you. You've got to have widescreen, haven't you? Widescreen's a must. We must have widescreen. Because yes, ladle and jelly spoons, we're in an MAN. And with the MAN, you get this great big goldfish bowl windscreen, which is great, isn't it? Or as I like to call it, window screen. Well, you might as well have a tour around here, haven't you? I mean, it ain't like as I'm revealing anything fucking secret, am I? You know what I mean? So, yeah. 31 pallets dropped off. Took them an hour and 45 minutes to do it. But not complaining, because I've got plenty of time now to get where I got to go. It's a bit of a daft place to park them things there, isn't it? What the fuck? Why would you park that in the way of the fucking exit? Which brainless moron decided to do that? That's fucking stupid. Fucking stupid! Oh well. Supply vehicles only. And the last time I done this, I pressed the button. It says you're gonna have to go around the other side and tell them you need a. I'm like, hang on, no. Hang on. Let's see what happens. Let's have a laugh. A laugh and a giggle. Normally you'd have a kitty cow to get out, but I don't think it doesn't work. It's broken. Oh yeah, apple. Thank you. So that's what you have to do. You give them the secret word of the hour, because it does change every hour. Winding the window up, nice and steady as we go. Well, today, because we'll have to start that, won't we? So we'll start that now. Hi, hello. We're obviously down here in Reading, if you haven't gathered that by now. How are we going to gather it, Jace? We ain't seen fuck all yet to know whether we're in Reading or not. Well, you never know, you might not be fucking smarter than what you look. And we are on our way to Magor. We're on our way to Magor. And my throat and my voice may quit halfway through this little experiment of ours as we traverse the boring M4 motorway, which realistically is one long straight road of absolute fuck all. It'll get interesting in probably, I'll guess two points it will be interesting. The rest will be mind-numbingly boring. But hey, some of you out there don't mind the old motorway drive along, so whatever. We'll do our best, keep entertained as much as we can, as I do, talking about all sorts of crap. Oh, and yes, it is crap, by the way. There's no two ways about it. It is proper crap. Right then, what we want? What lane do I want? I think I'm in the right lane anyway, so I should be alright for now. Let's just keep going round, keep going round. No, we've got to get over. Let's move over one then. Moving over one right now. Which this will break into two by the looks of it. Oh, look at that! Just in the nick of time. And slide myself over to this one here. Keeping my eyes on what's written on the floor, but remember, right, as much as I love the way that they lay these roads out, sometimes they just do not label them properly. And one of my pet hates, and I will point this one out, is when you're coming down a slip road to a junction with multiple axes off it. Some of them have 3 lanes off, some will have 2, some will have a slip road halfway down the fucker, which you don't really notice until you're looking. But the top of it, as you come into it, will have far right. If you say, for instance, you want to turn right, and it'll have the name of the road. But as you move over and you go down the slip road, all of a sudden the lane that you was actually on has now got the same number on as you was on before, and it gets a bit confusing. You think, well, I don't really want to be right the way over here. That's the one I want to be on. So why don't you put the label of the road up there, where I could see it as I'm approaching, save me moving over there and then having to move fucking back again when I'm halfway down the bloody slip road. Get my point? There are a few places like that do tend to piss you off, because we don't want to be in the fucking far right. No, not if we have to. If we can avoid doing that, that is the best thing you can ever do. Makes life a lot easier if you're turning right. No, turning right, is an easy manoeuvre if you've got the information in front of you. If it's wrong to start with and it puts you in the wrong position, it's like boo. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why. And that horrible noise, if you can hear it, I apologise. If you can't, then you're a lucky bunch of fuckers, because then it's coming from up there. There's a rattle up there somewhere. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's coming from. I think it's the airfall on top. I think that's what it is. It's making that noise. If you can hear it, that is. If you can't, then just pretend I'm imagining things and I'm just talking nonsense like I normally do. Right? That'll do it. Okay. Happy? I am. Of course. We are travelling at 50 because a sign came up and says caution 50. Right, so I'm doing 50. But I haven't actually seen anything yet, so I don't know what the fuck that was all about. As per usual, the matrix signs on the motorway are a crock of shit. Well, this one, that one down there has got nothing on it, so we're going to have to whop it back up again. See, there's the thing when you come to these kind of situations, when is it that you actually go, well, hang on a minute, there's no apparent problem and there's no more indication of a speed or an alteration in the speed limit. So when is it the point of, well, fuck it, let's go then? When does that occur? I don't know. About then. Oh dear. Sometimes I wonder. Well, as you can tell as well, right? Look around you. Right? The rain has stopped, the snow has fucked off, and the sun shines back again. Yay! Woke up this morning, fucking car was covered in snow. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I thought they kept complaining about global warming. This isn't global warming, this is global freezing. As a matter of fact, my fucking globals are freezing, for crying out loud. Frigging snow on the frigging... Oh man, snow. Coming up towards the end of April, nearly May. Snow. No thank you. We don't want that shit. You can keep it. Fucking fluffy rain. Fucking load of bollocks. Nobody likes the fluffy rain. I don't like it. I don't want it. Don't need it. Doesn't mean no any good. You know what I mean? There is no purpose for it. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't provide anything. Well, actually, I can think of a couple of things it provides. Maybe if you've got a couple of beers, you can shove it in the snow, keep them cool. There is that, I suppose, for it. That's one instance. If you're a skier, I mean, I suppose then it's you can use it for that. But that's all I can think of. I can't think of any more. Snowball fights, making a snowman, maybe that. But that's not really a practical use, is it? The only practical use out of all that I think of is basically keeping your beer cool. But that's no good. Cool beer is in the summer, not in the fucking winter. No. So in reality, when you think about it and you have a good long think about it, snow has no practical use whatsoever at all. It just doesn't. So why do we have it? What's the fucking fun for it? It just doesn't do anything for us. No, I don't care. I don't want it. Don't need it. Serves no purpose. We ought to ban it. I think that'd be great, wouldn't it? Can we have a countrywide ban on snow? I think that'd be awesome. That would. Write a stern letter to the Met Office saying we do not want any fucking snow. Thank you very much. You can keep that shit. Send it to Sweden. That'll do, won't it? But no, we keep getting it. We do keep getting it. On the odd spur. In all fairness, we can't really complain, can we? Because when it does end up on the floor, it either disappears literally straight away, or it'll be there for about 5 minutes and then it's gone anyway, so it don't make a difference. So we don't really... It's the cold that comes with it though, isn't it? I mean, we don't want that crap. No way. Apparently Scotland's going to get it worse, or they've already had it worse. It's no good. It's no good to anybody. Absolutely rubbish. But never mind. I suppose if you think of it like this though, if you're in the house, it doesn't affect you anyway, does it? No. Got a fire on, toasty, nice. Sitting in it, eating on if you want. Doesn't really affect anything, does it? But when you're outside, and you may be a grounds worker or keeper, or you're a builder or something to that nature. I mean, even with my job, it's only a pain in the arse a little bit of the time. Unless it's really bad, then it can be a pain in the arse a fucking lot of the time. Because that can create all sorts of weird and wonderful problems. For example, people don't know how to handle themselves when the snow's about. No. Some people think that it's Drift City. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it might be fun, but no. You can't do it. It's naughty. But I want to. No. Well, why the fucking point in having a handbrake? That's not for fucking drifting, sunshine. That's to hold your car on a stationary point. Yeah, but if you put a pin in the fucking button, you can just quickly snap it up. Ah, yes. When we were kids. Oh, there's only ever been, right, one instance, and it wasn't snowing either. When I was younger, back in the 80s, when I'd passed my test, I think it was in the 80s. Well, it would be like the late 80s, I would say, maybe just creeped into 90, maybe. I can't remember exactly when. I had my mum's Skoda sideways around the street. That was fun. And it was wet that day. But that was a rear-wheel drive car, and it was a bag of shit. But it was a bag of shit that I had. That was the only thing I had to drive. So I loved it. It was fun. But then when you're fresh and you're brand new at driving because you've just passed your test, you honestly could drive a fucking orange around the street. It wouldn't make no difference. You know what I mean? Because you love it no matter what. Because you can do it on your own without having somebody sat over there. It's brilliant. So for those of you out there who have passed your test many, many years ago, like myself, just, flash back to that point in time, and just have a sit and think about it. Reminisce of the day that you took your test, and when you was at the end of the time that you was driving for, and the examiner went, "Well, congratulations, Mr. Blah blah blah, you have passed your test," and that grin across your face as you're like, woohoo! And you try your best to keep your composure because you didn't want him to change his mind, because you knew full well that he could if he didn't like you at the end of that situation. So, of course, you held it all in, waited for him to sign across the bottom of that piece of paper and hand you the slip. And then you're like, jumping at the chair, wow, fucking brilliant, and then off you go. And of course, my instructor, being the funny man he was, he drove back because he says, "Well, I'm sorry mate, you ain't sure to drive the car now." I'm like, are you kidding me? No. So I had to do it. He drove back and dropped me off. Oh well, yeah. Only insured for the 2 hours. Yes, the hour lesson before the test, which, if you was like me, completely and utterly balls it up. I mean, it was an absolute fucking shambles. Oh my instructor was going nuts at me. He was. Fuck, I can't believe you've been driving perfect for the last God knows how long. Anybody think you've been driving for years away from you, and now you can't even go down the street right because it's the wrong way. You got fucking no access. You've hit curbs. You can't reverse for toffee. Says, what's going on? But it just so happened I passed first time when I took it out. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I don't know, but hey, it's good to get the mistakes out in that lesson than it is having mistakes on your test. So yeah, I passed first time with the car, but that was fun. That was. But I say, you know yourself, when you go out there, you have that first day, and obviously we weren't well off at all, so the only car I could have was my mum's, and I only used that when she was using it. So, but I had my motorbike as well though, so I had a 50cc motorbike that I used, and then I got rid of that and had a 125 and took my test on my MTX 125 on that, and then I passed that, and then I got that and done. But again, it's the same thing. It's like, put yourself back in that position where that very first moment of him handing the licence over to you, it's such a feeling. So you don't care what you drive. You don't give a monkeys. It could be one of those old Citroen type things that look like an upside down pram. You don't give a monkeys. I mean, the Skoda I drove was as bad as that anyway, so, but you don't care. You just don't give a shit. It's only later on when you start to think, well, I'd rather drive something at least that suits me, that goes with me. So, yeah. I've even jumped off an unbacked bridge in my mum's Skoda. That's how the bottom of the engine got bent up because it was an air-cooled one, and the fins underneath got snapped off and bent. Yeah, done that as well. That landed with a right fucking thud. Bang! What the? Look, when you're young, thick and stupid, you do some young, thick and stupid shit, right? But when you do it and you know it's no good, then you tell people, look, it's no point bothering because it's no good. It don't do any good at all. Learn from our mistakes. Don't enjoy the fun doing it. You've got to learn from our mistakes. Well, you can't really say that though, can you? When you think about it, it's like, yeah, but you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. Yeah, I know that, but why is it that you do your mistakes, right? But when you try and tell somebody, look, that won't work, sunshine, mate. Honestly, trust me, I've tried it. It won't work. It won't do it. But they still go ahead and do it anyway. I'm telling you. How's your arm? Broken in 3 places. Well, I did tell you. You know what I mean? That kind of scenario. But hey-ho, whatever. Whatever. It don't matter. Learn from experience. That's the one you always hear, isn't it? Learn from experience. Yeah, well, you know, there's certain things you can experience and learn from, but there are also things that you can experience and not survive. You know what I mean? So isn't that a bit of a conundrum? A bit of a catch-22. Because experience does, in most part, create a skill and wisdom. Yes, they do come with it. But certain experiences you'd rather not have. You know what I mean? So it's a weird one. You have to have a good old sit and think about that one. Experience. How do you get experience? By trying it first. But the thing is, my mate down there, he tried it, and now he's got 1 foot. You know that? You know what I mean? That kind of, yeah. Well, or I suppose you could look at it like, well, if you learn from history, as in things were tried and experienced back in the day, and you go, well, it didn't work for them, so it's obviously still not going to work for me, unless you could be a smart fucker and figure a way around it, which means then the experience that others have had and failed, you might be able to flip it on its head and experience it and win. Holy crap. Am I getting deep now? This is just fucking too intellectual for words, isn't it? I'm being a brainy box again. Oh well, someone's got to do it, haven't they? Just think of the fucking noggin you've got now, all that information pouring in there. Oh yes. Actually, talking about information and swelling the old brain pan, I was watching a bit of a science thing on YouTube about centrifugal forces, centripetal forces, fucking all sorts of different gravitational pulls and all that kind of rubbish. And what made me laugh was, a couple of days ago there was this guy that was talking about the flat earth rubbish, and you may have heard me go on about it before, and he got these diagrams on this board, and he's got his thing and what having a plane taking off and flying, and it's like, well, what do? You're turning left all the time and blah blah blah. Well, this guy on the thing about the centrifugal forces and centripetal force as well. Centripetal? That don't sound right. It's almost like that. I can't get the word right. Anyway, this velocity. He then explains about this, about a gyroscope, the way that works, and the way it pushes. Exactly how I'd got it in my head when this guy was going on about the flat earth and how does the plane fly like. Because this is the thing that made me laugh, right? This guy who was going about the flat earth and a plane taking off, okay, and flying over the equator. So how does that work? Because if you take off, then surely, right, it's not going to work. You're going to end up, you've got to keep turning to the left all the time and then nose down. So how do you get across there to the other side? It's got to be flat. And he's got all these diagrams and fucking mathematical equations and shit on his boat. I'm like, dude, you're forgetting one principle, right? The velocity of you stationary at that point. So if you're sat on the equator and you're pointing north, right? Bear with me. Try and catch this if you can, because flat earthers would think that you're going to fly in a straight line, right, and nothing happens, right? So if you're a ball and you're you're on a pointing north and you take off in a plane, as ball earthers as they call us, think that, well, you know, how do you move around that thing? How does that work? Well, this guy who was on this other channel who was on about that, about the certain forces and what have you, the way it works, gravity being a tether, and the fact that the earth spins. Well, for those out there who think that the plane's going to take off, the earth does not now move underneath the fucking plane. It doesn't work that way, right? This planet moves at roughly about 1,000 miles an hour as it turns around, right, on its axis, right? It's also got a slight wobble as well. You probably heard me going about that. But here's another thing, right? Not only is this lump of rock spinning, but the fucking atmosphere with it as well is doing exactly the same thing. Oh, so if you're on a runway pointing directly north from the equator and you want to get to the other side, as you take off, you're still going to be travelling at the plane speed, even if it reaches 550 miles an hour, whatever it does. But let's think of it like this. If the planet's going that way and you take off that way, right? As you take off, the planet's not going to move now around, you know, underneath you. No, you're going to go with it. And he was adding all this up, saying, well, the plane's going to be travelling at 1,000 miles an hour plus the 500. No. Because if the Earth's spinning that way and you travel up and over, that sum of the 1,000 miles an hour is not going to be added to the forward motion, that's added to the sideways motion. So as you're going up, you're travelling at 1,000 miles an hour going whichever direction you go. Is it clockwise, anti-clockwise? I don't fucking know which way it spins, I can't remember now. I'd imagine clockwise, that's we'd be all going backwards, wouldn't we? Yeah. So we'd be going clockwise, round and round and round and round and round and round. So as a plane takes off in the atmosphere, right, because the atmosphere is also moving at 1,000 miles an hour, it just keeps going. Yes, as you increasingly getting closer to the actual North Pole, right, things will start to slow down, because obviously the speed of that point will be different to the speed of this point, because they all meet at the same time. It's just that one travels at a greater distance than the one that's closer to the North Pole. They still move at the same speed. It's just the one does more distance at the same time. It's weird, but to think that you're going to go up in a plane over, and to think the Earth's going to move underneath you, is the way that they're thinking. So that's why they say it's got to be flat. No, you're travelling with the momentum of the fucking planet. Everything moves at the same fucking speed. Everything does. Are you going to let me go? Alright, you're going to let me go. Didn't have to, but thank you anyway. You could have moved over into the lane if you wanted to, but never mind. So of course, it just, as soon as it came on the screen and this guy's talking about centrifugal force, centripetal forces, inertia, g-force, gravity, and this image of the Earth and the way things go around it, I then flicked back to this guy with his flat Earth theory. It doesn't work, you can't fly over there, blah blah blah. I'm like, and I nearly busted out laughing. I did. I'm like, apparently flat earthers don't like them. Don't like these guys. I don't care. I don't really care about. I mean, you've got a bunch of people out there that think the Earth is flat, still, even though it's been proven centuries ago that it's not. I mean, if they believe it's flat, they might as well say that the fucking sun revolves around us. You know what I mean? That's how ridiculous they are. But then again, you have the other scale, whereas you've got these other people who think the Earth is hollow, for crying out loud. I mean, they can't both be right, can they? Well, they're ridiculous. You can't have a flat and hollow Earth at the same time. Let's stick to the fucking one we already know. It's a great big sphere. It's not a perfect sphere. It's a bit lumpy, but when you start to look at it from a distance, it does look like a pretty good sphere, doesn't it? Right, but the closer you get, the more clumped together it really is, you know what I mean? It's not perfect. You know that for a fact, because as you're travelling along the surface in your car, bike, walk, you're going to go up and down hills and round valleys and shit like that. So it's not a perfect sphere. It's the atmosphere that sort of gives that illusion that it's a sphere, right? But, hey, who am I? I am no scientist. I just use that wonderful thing called common sense. You know what I mean? And I have seen countless videos of people going on about the Earth's flat. Look, I can prove it by looking across the water. Look at that there. That object in the water. And now look at this object here. There's no difference between the fucking two. Have you any idea how optics works? I'm like, really? Is that your proof? Just because you've now 35 feet above the ground where you're at means that because there's no difference in the view of over there, it's straight line. It's not. There's no balling. It's a flat surface. Oh my life. Some people, you just can't talk to them. Honestly, when they're set in their ways, they just will not get out of that trench. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they can fucking stay in it, right? Because you don't really want those people to be fucking, ruling anything, do you? You don't want them to be in charge of anything. Take the Meccano set away from those people. They are dangerous. That's just the be-all and end-all of it. You know what I mean? You just can't trust them. It's like the possibility, right, which I've probably mentioned before now, so bear with me anyway, for those of you who haven't heard it. There's a certain star, apparently, that is called the Tabby star, and it's been dimming very, very wildly, and more so than any normal dimming of any kind of planetary body in front of it, passing in front of it from our perspective. And the theories are that, one, it could be a massive meteor shower that's blocking its path, anything like that, or the possibility of intelligent life intervening with the sun's ability to shine, because they may have built some sort of Dyson sphere, right? Righto. There is one problem I have with that. Okay. When you take a look at our wonderful star up there, right, that gives us life, feeds the plants, right, gives us vitamin D and all that kind of cack, right? It's a wonderful little thing, isn't it? Turns night into day, turns the sky into blue instead of black. You know what I mean? All that, it's wonderful. But it is an absolute fucking monster, right? It is huge, right? It is so big, you could probably fit about a good, half a dozen thousands of us in it. It's that big, it's monstrous. But if you look in the universe out there, our star, compared to some of the monolithic versions of stars out there, you can put thousands of our stars inside their stars. You know what I mean? So things out there that are really, really, really big. But then again, there's a lot of space, so, it makes a difference. Let's go back to this Dyson sphere part and realise that suns are not tiny, they're fucking huge. And they've got certain theories, because it's not something we know for sure, that the Dyson sphere is wrapped around the sun to absorb its energy, to whatever. But I have a problem with that, though. I would prefer the idea of, say, building a sort of a satellite orbiting the sun that goes around it, right, to absorb the energy that way. That would make more sense than actually having a mechanical or some sort of object that is built encasing the sun. And the reason why I say that is because the sun being so big, and we don't know how big this sun is compared to ours, not exactly. It could be the same size, it could be smaller, it could be fucking a gazillion times bigger, we don't really know. But to actually build something that would encompass a star, where are you going to get the materials from, right? They may be intelligent people, but let's say, for instance, they lived on a planet that was like ours. They certainly aren't going to be able to use the materials from the planet because there would not be enough. So that means then they would have to then travel to other planets to remove the materials from that planet, or even basically use an asteroid belt and have machines out there, big fuck off machines that draw in meteors and chew them up and spit out whatever they're going to spit out the other end to create this machine that goes around the fucking sunlight. But there's no way they can make it all from one planet. It'd have to be from several hundred planets. So this is why this Dyson sphere, as wonderful as it might seem to extract energy to wrap around the sun, that just doesn't comprehend to me, because where the material going to come from? But to make more of a satellite that orbits the sun, drawing energy off it, well, that makes more sense. That does. That can be done. I mean, I don't know how big it would have to be to actually feed the planet of energy. I don't know. I don't know how it would work, because I'm no fucking engineer, and I'm not an alien. I don't know these things. But that to me makes more sense than having something that goes round the whole thing. Yeah. But in saying that, though, with the sun dipping its light that much, I think it's something up to about 20%, whereas normally it's 1% sometimes. It depends when a planet passes in front of a sun. I mean, who's to say? I mean, we might have got it all wrong altogether. It might not even be a sun as big as they think. It might be a really titchy thing. You know what I mean? The planets might be really big. Who's to say? We don't know. We just don't know. But I love that stuff up there. That's brilliant. I always have a little bit of a conversation myself whenever I see the YouTubes about the people with their flat earth thing, and I'm thinking, yeah, go on, carry on. You keep your theories to yourself. We all know, most of us do. Common sense is a brilliant thing. Is a theory with the flat earthers, if you like, when it comes to proving that this is an actual sphere. First of all, how is it that we are actually on the planet itself? If it was a disc, which is what realistically a flat earth is going to be, ain't it, right? The spinning motion, well, we wouldn't actually be on the surface, we'd be right out on the edge, because obviously the centrifugal force, centripetal force, there you are, there's that fucking wonderful thing coming back again, would drive us that way. Yes, it's obviously a fictional thing, but because we're being tethered as well, we end up being anchored into it, the centre, but we're round we go. Anyway, how would the clouds and the weather work if it's a flat disc? Because it's not spinning, it wouldn't spin, we wouldn't have atmosphere, we wouldn't have anything, we wouldn't be here. If it was flat, it'd be just a dead lump of rock. It's as simple as that. So it just doesn't work for me. Nah. What do you think? Does it work for you? Does flat earth work for you? Do you go, ooh, I like the idea of flat earth? Ooh. Are you one of them? I don't know, I mean, no. Doesn't work. I mean, I suppose you could say hollow Earth, maybe, possibly, but even that again doesn't work because we wouldn't have gravity. Because if it was hollow, the mass of the planet wouldn't be dense enough to create gravity for us to actually be here. I mean, a lot of people have now come into the theory that maybe the moon is fucking hollow. I'm like, where do they think this shit up from? What do they like one day think, I know what I want to do, I want to cause a fucking internet sensation or a social media sensation by saying the moon's hollow? No. Scientists now are thinking that maybe the moon shouldn't actually be there in the first place because it doesn't actually make sense. We don't know why it's actually... What scientists? Where do these... Is it just because you put the name scientist? Just fucking... Who is this guy? Is it fucking Bugs Bunny with a fucking monocle in his face or what? I don't know. But just because they say a scientists are now saying this, that and the other, where's the scientist that says this? I'd like to know this, I would. I'd love to know. Who is it that's saying that the possibility that the moon may be hollow? No. We've actually got theories. Again, it's only theories because we don't know for sure. We weren't there to witness this shit, right? But it's the most plausible explanation as to how we've got that wonderful ball that sits up there that controls, helps control the oceans and the tides that we have, right? Because it's not just that does this to the planet, the fucking sun does as well. That has a bit of a tidal tug on it, as does the moon. Anyway, the theory is that when the planetary bodies were being formed around the sun, the early stages, this planet and another one was sharing the same track, or at least they were far apart. And as they're going around and around and around, and they caught up with each other and whack! And because our planet was a little bit bigger, a bit denser, had a bit more energy in it, it's basically fucking mangled that planet. The heats and the thermals and all that kind of crap that went on in there, the reactions, I mean, there'd be all sorts of crap going off. I wouldn't be surprised if it was thermonuclear as well at one point or other, when it was all being mushed together. And then the gravitational pull swirling all that debris around and scoffed in the great big lump of iron ore, or whatever it was, that big ball in the middle of our planet that was spinning around, which some people don't believe that exists. And after all that chain reaction is happening, and the heat, molten rock flapping around everywhere, our planet survived it by reinitialising itself in a bigger point, because obviously now it's gained more landmass, plus it's gained more density because it's just snatched the core of that planet that came into focus, spat out its debris because it couldn't quite cling on to all of it. That then started to spin around, because the moon, believe it or not, at one point in its life was a spinning body. Yes, it was. It isn't stationary like it is today. It was spinning at one point. If it didn't spin, it would just be a clump of rock. Right? It had no form to it. As you know, it's a sphere, and it's to create the sphere, you need to spin. So yeah, at one point the moon was closer, a lot closer, and spinning like a fucking spinning top. But then again, the Earth was as well, believe it or not. In the early stages of the Earth's development, I mean, I think a day was about an hour and a half, and it started to slow down as time progressed. 6 hours, right? 10 hours rotation. That's how quick it was. It was boom. But it wasn't just spinning, it was fucking wobbling and bouncing all over the place. Until our wonderful moon started to react with it and tug at it and slow it down and start to anchor it a bit and dab the brakes a wee bit, like, you know. So, but again, it's not an exact thing, but it's the most plausible reason why we have that wonderful ball up there and how it first came about. But to say that it was just plonked there, oh, it was there by magic. Busy, let's get busy. Ding, 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 ding. Now, when they come up with silly ideas like that, then I just have to I just turn away in disgust. I'm like, really? Are you really that fucking gullible? Go on then. Go and play with your fucking sticklebacks. Remember them? Stickle bricks. Oh dear. That was the building blocks before Lego, right? Because people weren't that clever then. So you needed something that you could do if you was a bit slow. I used to love my stickle bricks. Anyway. So when theories are all thrown, if you're into all that kind of stuff, I mean, you may not be. I mean, I am. Obviously, I like that kind of rubbish. I like to listen to things that are way beyond my scope of understanding, and then I listen to it and I think, all of a sudden, as soft as this might sound, don't ask me why, but when I listen to things like that, theories of the way the moon was put together, inside my head it sort of like, it clicks as if to say, well, fuck me, it actually makes sense, right? So when somebody turns around and goes, oh, the earth is flat, this is why it doesn't work for me. I can't, because it doesn't click in my head going, oh, that's a bloody good idea, I never thought of that. Don't do it. But the likes of that stuff, that does make me go, oh yeah, do you know, that makes sense. So when they say the earth is hollow, I'll go, no, because it doesn't go click in my head saying, oh, that's a good idea. But some people it does. You know what I mean? Some people go, hey, you know what, I can get with that one. No proof, right? There's no proof whatsoever, but I can get with it. I'm like, alright then, carry on. Granted that I know proof that the moon was made, but it's more plausible than a fucking bloke going, you know, it just doesn't work for me, that don't. There's no easy weasy fucking let's get busy involved. There's no way. No fucking way. It hasn't been constructed by ancient aliens, right? Or better still, ancient human beings that have been roaming the planet for millions upon millions of years. Why is it that it's because we are a civilization at the point now, sort of, well, the fucking rough sketchings of it, if you like, you know what I mean, but yeah, you know what I mean. We are relatively civilized, I suppose. But when you look at the way that the history of us is written, it's as if we're the only fucking sentient beings that's ever existed on this planet. Maybe so. I mean, I don't know. But to say that we're the only thing that's ever existed that's sentient, no. I would think I would have to take it in to the fact that time is such an amazing thing, you know, for developing shit, destroying shit, creating shit, you know, ending shit. You know, I'm more leaning towards the fact that yes, humans as we know it have probably been around for maybe a couple of 100,000 years. I mean, I might even go back even. This is just finding proof, because time is a cow bag, right? It really is. To try and find ancient stuff that's really, really old, unless it's survived the millions of years. I mean, like I say, we keep finding the odd dinosaur bone now and again, like, you know what I mean, which has been fossilised over the years, but has managed to survive because it's been captured in the landmass that hasn't been eaten by the planet. Because yes, that's what the tectonic planets do. One gets eaten by the other one. That's it constantly cycles itself and feeds itself all the time, spewing out new land masses, scoffing another bit. It just so happens that thankfully doesn't happen overnight. It takes millions upon millions of years, because if it did happen like that, life wouldn't evolve. It takes millions of years for life to evolve. Not just a fucking 5-minute fucking throw of snot in the middle of a lake and now, pring, hey presto, you've got fucking jaws flying around there. No, don't work like that. Millions upon millions of years, which still leaves you with a spare few billion that the planet's been around. So, when somebody says to you, the earth is flat, that's the end of it, you go, mate, put the sharp objects down. Step away from the fucking pencils. Right? That's all I can say about that, honestly. Just do it. Their faces will be a picture for certain facts. That's a definite, that is. You know what I mean? That is a definite. They'll look at you thinking, cheeky bastard. But, you know, saying that people have come out with some really ridiculous stuff, but when they actually explain their theories behind it, sometimes you go, do you know what? That's not a bad idea, that. I like your thinking. That could possibly be. And then there's the other end where you go, come on dude, look, you know, stop smoking that shit, will you? You're talking out your ass now. Right? Simple. I'll tell you what made me laugh, because a lot of people, when it comes to like space travel, back in the day, they're saying, we didn't land on the moon, it's all a fucking hoax, blah blah blah. I'm the type of person, right, that for me personally, right, whether it be a hoax or not, I would rather prefer to believe that it did actually happen, right? Honestly. And the reason for that is because it'd be a shame if it didn't. But apparently there's this thing that's been flying around the moon doing some testing and orbital whatever it is, and they've found the lunar module thingamajig and all the tracks that are on the surface of the way, and then found the lunar landing thing. They found that as well, and it's there on the moon where it was landed, all down to the longitude, latitude, and all the basically the degrees of where it's supposed to be. They found it. They found the landing site. They found the module. They found everything. The markings, the tracks, everything's all there. So, and when I was sitting there, I'm thinking, do you know what? That's brilliant. That is. So, you know, proof that they landed on the moon. They found it. It's there. It's true. It happened. Maybe, sort of. Not 100% sure. But I mean, you're always going to get somebody out there that will try to, I don't know, change people's minds into a certain thinking. There's always going to be that. That's just a given. So, many years after the moon landing, all that, so there'll be conspiracies. They didn't do it, they did it just to fucking blah blah blah, this blah blah blah. And like, well, it's the same when it comes to aliens and all that kind of crap, right? UFOs. I mean, there's a channel that I watch, and I've subscribed to the guy. Fascinating as fuck, brilliant to watch. But I still sometimes go, you know, I still cringe when some of these things are on there, and I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, okay, fair enough. But again, it's still a fascinating watch. So if you want to watch it, it's Security Team 10. Brilliant. I love it, I do. I'm hooked with it. It's great fun. You know, you have to keep an open mind to certain things. I mean, I'm always going to say that, right? But I will admit this though, I mean, there are some things that he has put on there which have been questionable for me. But then again, he's put things on there that have been questionable for himself too, which I'm quite glad at. He doesn't swallow all of it up, like, you know what I mean? Because that would be disappointing. That's why I do. I carry on watching it. Every morning, I put the YouTube on, I flick through to see if he's got one on there, and have a look to see what the next thing is that he's found or what's been sent to him, like, you know what I mean, and to upload and all that kind of UFO spots and these anomalies that happen. And I find it fascinating because I think to myself, what goes through my mind when I see all this, as much as I'd love to believe that UFOs are flying around the skies, I'm like, nah. Because from my point of view, right, when I look at it like that, what would be the point in a UFO if it is an alien of whatever part of the universe, right? What is the significance of just flying through the clouds? I don't get that. It makes no sense to me. If it was going to be some intelligent other than us from a different fucking galaxy, planet, whatever, and they've actually made it this far, well then surely they would be a lot smarter than us anyway, without a doubt. It's fucking hands down. They wouldn't have any point in fearing us because we would be completely defenceless from them. So the only other aspect of it would be is either they don't give a shit, right, because we are insignificant, so all they're doing is flying around our atmosphere and that's as much as it's going to be, because they're just curious, I suppose, like a kid looking at ants in an ant farm. You know, that's got to be the only conclusion I can come with for that. But realistically, no. Sorry, but no. When we do finally have an alien craft actually land in the middle of the populace, and then something either slither, crawl, spring, or pop out and go, well then I'll believe. Right? I will, honestly. I'll believe then. Who knows? That day might happen, you never know. It's possible. Anything's possible. Anything at all. Notice how I just backed off there, right? He just shoved his indicator on. He didn't even wait for it to flash. Ooh, fucking annoying. Memory back on. But yeah, it does baffle me sometimes when I see all these video footage of, oh look, blah blah blah. Look at that light in the sky. It's always a fucking light in the sky. Yeah, and it could be a fucking kid playing with a laser up in the clouds. Who cares? It's nothing significant, but it's always from a distance up in the sky, miles away. Where's the footage of that particular light source, object, from direct underneath the fucking thing? Where's that footage? I mentioned that before, I know I have. That'll convince me. Oh well, whatever. Whatever. It's always going to be fascinating no matter what. You can't argue. It's always the unknown, the mystery of it all. Is there, could there, will there ever be? Well, one day maybe, but I don't see it in our lifetime, or several generations of lifetimes after the fact. No, not yet. Not at all. But one day, I do believe that one day we'll have our encounter, and that'll be the end of it. I'm just putting Agent J back in play. Oh, my eyes are getting a bit sore. It's a right pain in the fucking back of my eyes. Oh, look at that for a lovely sky. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh, fluffy clouds looking nice, aren't they wonderful? Now, if you argue the toss of the flat earth, they say, see, there's proof the earth is flat, the clouds are stationary. Oh, fucking grow up, you stupid twat. Go and play with your stickle bricks. I love clouds, aren't they? Clouds are fucking nice, aren't they? I don't know whether it's because of the structure, the fact that they got the blue from the back of it, the light shining through. I don't know what it is. I like them, I do. They do fascinate the fuck out of me. Yeah, well, never mind. Anyway, when most people who see an unidentified flying object, right, they always associate it with aliens. But if you really sat and thought about the terminology UFO, the acronym UFO, right, unidentified flying object, right, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a UFO. It doesn't mean they're going to have fucking big eyes and tentacles, you know what I mean, flying the fucking thing. It doesn't mean that. All it means is that you don't know what it is that's flying around the sky, right? You just don't know. It could be anything. Absolutely anything. But if you want to step back to the point of civilization, ancient civilization, or millennial fucking civilization from however X amount of millions of years ago, how about that for a possibility? They may have found a way of travelling through time and visiting us, and that's what you're seeing. And the reason why they fly around the clouds is because they can't interact with us, because they may change something and inadvertently fuck their existence up. How about that for a thought? Yeah. Never know, it could be a Marty McFly. You know what I mean? One minute your dad's alive, the next minute your dad's not. Your mum's a normal person, the next time your mum's got a boob job. You know what I mean? Married to somebody else. Oh. You know, you could fuck anything up when you're playing with time. So, maybe the unidentified flying objects could be time capsules flying around. I like my theory that there's a certain, what can I call them? A certain society, I don't know, whatever. Remember, this is all fictional shit, by the way. But, you know, it's all up in this noggin of mine. It's sort of like a body of people, maybe a being, I don't fucking know, but that they are messing with history anyway. altering stuff as they go through their timeline, and they are tweaking things in our present, which inadvertently obviously will affect their future, or their present if you like, which we will know nothing about because we are living this timeline. This is our present. So they could change something, and whether it be either insignificant or fucking devastating, right, it would only be an event that we experience. But for those in the future, them little crafts flying around the sky altering shit, right, it may change something so dramatic in their timeline that may fix a problem, or the most insignificant change that they make might fuck their society up, like, you know, because you just don't know. You wouldn't know how the repercussions would be. It's amazing, isn't it? But time is a wonderful thing anyway. I love time, but I also hate it the same equal levels. I love time, but I hate time. Because you're looking at me and time is ravaging my body as I'm sitting here talking to you as it goes. I feel like a fucking old man already. What do you mean I feel like one? You are one. Shut up. Anywho, but yeah, when it comes to like that kind of thing, there's only an approximation of what could happen if things were altered for the future. You wouldn't know with 100% accuracy by changing something in our past that would influence our future or our present, which is more accurate, I suppose, wouldn't it be? Because you wouldn't know for sure how it would unfold. It'd have to be sort of a hit and miss kind of experiment if you think about it. Well, there's a thought. So for argument's sake, if you wanted to change what is currently happening in our present, even though we are constantly moving forward into the future, but the moment that we're in is always going to be a present moment at the minuscule point of view. But anyway, go back in the past to alter something and hope that the ripple effect would then affect the present that we're in enough to correct a mistake maybe, or alter an outcome. But to do that, you wouldn't be able to do it just once. You'd probably have to do it an infinite amount of times, because the outcome were never always going to be what you'd predicted to be. Wow, I think I've just twisted my own head off. See what I mean? Time travel. So by changing something in the past to try and influence something in the future, even though you want to influence this particular point in time to maybe correct this particular moment in the present, it may not actually do what you wanted to do, because you don't know what will happen after the effect, and you can't map it all the way through. And it may even inadvertently cause even more of a problem. Ooh. Ah well. Yep. That's a bastard. But anyway, you know, if you don't know, well, time travel, they all say that it's, you can't do it because there's so many paradoxes involved. Go sit down and shut up, will you? Now, grandfather paradox. Well, I'm afraid that just doesn't exist. Not for me anyway. Yes, but there are people out there who are far smarter than you, who say that if you went and did that, inadvertently interrupted the meeting of your granddad and grandma, you wouldn't exist. So where would you be able to get back? Ah, well, I'm afraid that's where it gets a little bit sticky. Why? Well, matter. Physical matter. That's why. You are there and you exist. So whether your grandparents or great-grandparents or fucking several centuries, you know, to the family line you don't even know existed, didn't meet. Because you are there, you exist. It's as simple as that. Your matter, your space, your point of existence is there now. Time doesn't go backwards as well as going forwards at the same time. That doesn't work. Nope. I'll try and break it down so you understand if you can. Try and keep up. As we know, time can be altered, right? As in slowed down and sped up, but it can only go in one direction. It won't go backwards, right? Won't go backwards. So if you're a time traveller, I remember this is all my theory, by the way. This is just in my head, so there's no scientific basis on this at all. But just bear with me anyway. You never know, you might find it interesting. You've got yourself a time machine, whether it be a stationary one or a DeLorean. I like the idea of a DeLorean, to be fair, because at least then you can just have something to drive around in. And you go back in time, right? Your timeline has not followed you, right? Hence the reason why the grandfather paradox actually wouldn't work the way that they say it would work, as in you'd go poof. No. What would have gone poof is the timeline that you were on. You would no longer be able to go back to that timeline, right? As a matter of fact, you wouldn't be able to go back home, end of. But you would still exist in that time zone and move forward from that point of time. Doesn't matter whether you'd fucking, you know, knackered up your great dinner date. Doesn't matter. Because you actually exist in that point of time. You are taking up space. The molecules of oxygen, carbon, fucking hydrogen, all the rest of them are being displaced because you're there. Right? You interact with whatever's around you. So you have been taken off your timeline, moved through, if you like, subspace, and plonked down into the past, connecting to the timeline in the past. But you've fucked around with your ancestors. They no longer meet, so that your family tree has now been evaporated. But you will not go poof. You can't go poof because you actually exist in that time. The only time you would actually go poof is if you would try to go home. Then you'd go poof. But you would live out your life there merrily, you just wouldn't be able to go home. So if you wanted to go and live in the Wild West or the early 1700s of the UK, England, Great Britain, well, you could do that. And if you was happy there and you didn't matter and you bumped into your great and stopped there and went for a pint with him and he missed his girlfriend, and it doesn't matter. You'd be an anomaly, granted, but you'd still exist. You'd have to make do with all the diseases and the filth. But if you want to stay there, that's by all means go for it. Yeah. Try that on for size. There's paradoxes all over the place when it comes to certain aspects of things like that anyway, but why is it? I mean, I suppose the fascination of going back in time because of the possibility of changing stuff in the life that you've had. But it's never really so much as going back in time as in going forward in time. I think I would rather go forward, but that's where things get really sticky. For those of you who have obviously seen one of my old videos before, I mentioned it, we can't predict where things are going to go. Hence, we don't know what happens in the future. We can always prepare and predict for the future, but we don't know exactly, right? So, to think that you want to travel X amount of hundred or thousands of years into the future, well, yeah, that's where you're going to get unstuck. Because if it's a vehicle that moves in a direction to create whatever kind of force, like the DeLorean, to create the time displacement for you to leap forward, well, the problem is you don't know what's going to be in your way. So you may rematerialise inside a fucking tree. I mean, that's going to be no good for anybody. You know what I mean? You become a twig. You know what I mean? You're fucked then, aren't you, altogether? You might become a fucking rock. It just depends how far into the future you decide to go. I mean, I could even, I suppose for argument's sake, you could say the only, even that's going to be a bit difficult to go, but sort of safe bet, and you're going to love this because this is going to tie it all round. The only safe bet you're going to have of travelling forward in time would be the sky, because you know at a certain altitude it's always going to be open air. You're never going to run into anything. You probably won't even run into an airplane if you go high enough, right? And then come back down and fly around a bit and see what's going on in the future. Did you like how I did that? Was that pretty cool or what? Well, think about it. You couldn't travel across the land to create a momentum for any kind of time displacement jump like the flux capacitor needs at 88 miles an hour. Wouldn't work. Why? Well, that's because, for argument's sake, let's say you use a stretch of motorway. It's 2017, right? 88 miles an hour, pop! All of a sudden, that motorway that you were on, if you jumped, say, a couple of thousand years ahead, it might be a fucking living quarters, because we no longer need roads. Some of them have all been taken away, and it could be either a forest because of depletion of oxygen and wood and shit like that. It could be a, what's the name? Living quarters because we don't need them anymore. We might be flying in the skies. Who's to say? We don't know. There may have been some catastrophe happen in that couple of thousand years, and well, even though the road may have been there, it's been overtaken by the greenery, foliage, because there's now more humans about. And it's the same with a stationary object as well. Now, you would have to find somewhere on planet Earth to build this stationary object to move you through time forward that you've got at least a 99.9% chance of it not being messed with. What is it? The only thing I can think of would be either a mountain, Everest, so you knock a big fucking hole in the middle of that somewhere and build it in there and hope that nobody finds it. You got a chance that Mount Everest might stay where it is, but again, there's always that slim possibility that something may happen and the fucker might break into two. Just where your machine is. Who's to say? You just can't be 100% sure when travelling forward in time. I suppose that's one way of carrying your push bike, isn't it? Just pull the roof down and shove it in the back. So, realistically, the only real place you can actually go to jump forward and backwards in time without really interfering with anything, smashing into something, materialising into something, is the sky. How about that? That's cool, that, isn't it? I like that. I like the idea of that. Yeah. So all the UFOs that you see flying around the clouds, they're time travellers. They're not fucking aliens at all. They're just time travellers. Oh dear. I'd put my faith in that more than anything I would, to be fair. Oh dear. I'd like to go forward in time personally, because I'd like to know what the next PlayStation's going to be like in the year 3017, say, for argument's sake, or even 3020. Because I like the idea of that. I can't wait to do that, to be honest with you. But even like 3020, or even about 1020. Does that make sense? No, that don't make sense, does it? No. 120, that'd be more like it, wouldn't it? Is that right? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Hang on, my brain's just fucking had a fart. Yeah. So, from now, jump forward to the year 100,020. It ain't far away. It ain't really, when you think about it. I mean, what is it? 97,000 fucking whatever it is it? Wonder what it'd be like. Will we still be here, do you think? Will we finally be able to go and live on Mars? Will human race still be here? I don't know. I think it'd be an achievement if the human race is still here in the year 3000, to be fucking fair. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we're on 2017 now. I mean, the year 3000, we've got a bit to go, mind you, haven't we, really? Yeah. 800 and something years. No, that's not right, is it? It's 900, eh? 900 and something years. 900 years till we get to 3000. Just to jump forward in time to see that clock roll round, that'd be cool. I wonder what the New Year's Eve party would be like. Fuck me. The year 3000. Woohoo! Man, that'd be one mega piss up. Can you imagine? Holy shit. We'd be drinking synth ales and all sorts of shit. Fucking Romulan fucking Budweiser. I mean, come on. Klingons fucking mixtures. All sorts of blood wine. Oh, man. It'd be awesome. Abso-flogging-lutely. We'd be fucking popping this, smoking that. We'd be off our fucking tits for a good week. That'd be one epic fucking New Year's party, that, wouldn't it? Oh, yes, baby. Hey, by the year 3000, I'm pretty much, yeah, I reckon by then we should have a confirmed alien race, intelligent species by the year 3000, without a doubt, hands down, without a problem. Whether we can get to them, that's another fucking solution altogether, but I reckon by at least then we'll be done. 50 miles an hour, slow down. Why? What for? Let me guess. We are coming towards the M5. I think so. Are we? You know, I've been driving down here that long, I can't remember where the fuck I am. I just keep going. I could be in fucking Port Talbot for all I know. I've only been driving for an hour and a half. Well, according to that, hour and 24 minutes I've been driving. Do you know what? From Reading to Maga is quite a bit of a jaunt, isn't it? I wasn't expecting to be that long. Do you know what? I honestly thought it'd be something like about an hour. That'd be about it. No. But then again, where I was only about 20 miles away from, well, make it 40 miles away from actual London. So, oh, we are. Junction 19. Oh. I got loads to go yet. 20. I want junction 23. That's what I want. 23. Right. We're heading towards the M5 now. You have to keep your peepers open because I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember if it's just cut straight through and there's like there's a bit of lane off there to go that way and that way, but I might have to move over. Might. I think I do. I don't traverse this road that often, so I'm thinking. I'm trying to wind my brain back. Wind your neck in, sunshine. Well, the signs will soon tell me, so I'll just have to keep my peepers open, haven't I? You know what I mean? There's one sign. It says M4, M5. M4 at the top, M5 in brackets. To illustrate that that's the road you can take, maybe if you fancied it. Fucking nose. Stop it. I'll move out your way, you fucking dribbling bag of shit. It is give way to the fucking right, you know. Fucking move it. Fucking tata. You fucking dribbling bag of shit. Clown. If I hadn't moved over, you can guarantee that pillock there would have actually probably been down by the fucking footwell. But they assume, you see, and that's wrong. They shouldn't. Oh, he'll move at the way. He'll do it. He'll move. He'll slow down. He'll move. No, fuck you, bitch. That's what I say. Arse bag. I can see a thing up there now, so I'm going to move over. I think this one now goes M5. I think. It does. So I'll stay here. I'll stay here. Okay. I wonder what the fashion would be like in the year 3000. Because don't forget, I mean, we're on 2000 now, but in that X amount of years that goes by to get to 3000, which is 900 and something, whatever it was, was it 970, 82? I think that's right. Anyway, I wonder what the fashion would be like. What kind of clothes would we wear? That's a long time, you know, that is, when you think about it. It's a long time. My nose keeps itching. Still made it. Fingers go there, fuck it. Stop fucking itching, you bastard. Piss off. I don't know. I just don't know. I ain't got a clue. What would we wear? What kind of vehicles would we drive? Would we still be driving? I don't know. Got snot all over my fingers now. I just don't know. Would they finally sack this fucking smart motorway shit off? We might not need it because it'll all be self-driven anyway. It'll be gone are the days of driving. No need to take your driving test anymore. Why? Because you just press a button and you can pick where you go and that's it, done. Really? Yeah. Alright, I see. Can you imagine that though? Oh, I don't even know if I'm looking forward to that at all, if that would be ever the thing. I mean, that just do me, you know, it would. To be honest with you, the way things are going now, mind you, I mean, they put so many new rules, or they'll change different things, and driving skill gets dumbed down every fucking day. That's why driving of today is so crap. They keep putting these things in place and, you know, making it more and more this and more that. It's like, oh, the actual skill of driving is being fucking evaporated before your eyes. It's a nice view, isn't it, that? Cool. Oh, I'm getting tired. Steady on, steady on. Get a little bit quick there. We ain't far away from the toll roads, are we now? Well, the toll booths, should I say? The toll booths. I bet it's only down here, eh? Fucking ass is aching, I know that much. My ass is aching, it really is. I don't know what it is that's up my fucking snotter, but it really itches like a twat. Itches like a twat on thrush. Hey, I'm allowed, with this far into the video, how old anybody watches this far. So I don't care. It's looking very nice though. I mean, even though it's been a shit morning with the old weather like, but hey, it's turned out alright down here. Oh, I must have something up my snotter that keeps fucking tickling. I don't know what it is. I've got a bit of fluff up there, I think, or something. Good grief. Get out and walk your cow. I have no idea. Just go with it. I've either got a bit of fluff up there, or I've got a stray nostril there that's going. Yes, that's what they do. That's fucking bright, that, isn't it? I thought I could get away with that, but you can't. It's fucking bright. Wow. Yes, I am catching up with this vehicle here. I need to get round him. Might as well move over there while there's a bit of space. Oh look, Monmouth. No, that's not right. What was that? What did that just say? Avonmouth. That was the word I was looking for. I have no idea. None whatsoever. And as you look at the toll prices, oh look, they've finally gone up to just a, bang, 20 quid, fuck it. They might as well, haven't they? What's the point in the change? It's just stupid. It was £19.80. I was like, what, why? Why the 80? You might as well just do 19 quid if you're going to be like that. Oh no. We have to add that extra 80p. Well, fuck it now, we've added the pounds, yeah, so it's a fucking, we've added the 20p now, so it's, fucking, yeah, you know what I mean, there. 20 quid. £20. But it's only £20 to get into Wales, it costs you fuck all to get out. I'd love to know where the logic is on that. I mean, there is obviously going to be a legitimate reason for that, you know what I mean, whereas well, I would say the theory would be that obviously you have to have a maintenance of the bridge, but you pay for the one side and then it's subsidised on the other side, I think, maybe. Because it does seem a bit bizarre, doesn't it, that there's no other toll that does it, whereas this toll you pay to get in, but you don't pay to get out. It just seems a bit weird. But I think it's something to do with the way that they share the cost between the government, I suppose, yeah, and whatever. I've got to admit though, I love going over this bridge. It is fun. It's very cool. Unless it's honking it down a rain, it's got a gale force wind on top of that, then it's no fun at all. If it's that bad, I always like driving the middle lane. Because if I am going to go over, I'd rather go on the fucking tarmac than go and end up dangling over the edge of the fucking bridge. No, don't want to be doing that. Highly unlikely, mind you, but you never know. You just never know. Shit can be unpredictable. We already know that shit. That's a given. So yeah. And plus as well, these railings, I mean, yeah, I know obviously safety is a part of it, and obviously lorries go over, so they need something high. But it's blocking the shot. I mean, look at it. It's not very good, is it? And they could do it being a bit lower, so we can see. I'm thinking, I suppose I could put the cameras on, but I need a fucking ladder for that. I actually thought about doing that, you know. You know them telescopic ladders you can get that fold down into about this big, and they go, and they're about 10 foot long, like, you know. I thought about having them and using that for the cameras on the back, so I could stick them on the next hinge up to get a higher shot. I have thought about it, don't get me wrong. I have. Stick them on the top hinge. That'd be interesting, I reckon. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think you would probably need something like that if I decided to put the camera on the back doors, like get that 5th one on the go and stick one on the back doors, because you'd have to have it out the reach of people. These are not too bad because at least I can see them, right? And you have got to reach up to actually mess about. So, but the one on the back, I mean, you could jump up on that one and rip it off and off you go. Like, I don't know, and you wouldn't be. I wouldn't see it. You see, I wouldn't be able to see what's going on. So, yeah. I don't know. I have these weird thoughts now and again. Now you see, that's more like it. Now you can see something, albeit only for a short little bit of distance, but it's nice, isn't it? Tide's out, mind you. Way out by the looks of it. Alright, pain in my lug. I'm gonna move over. I'm catching up with this dude. If you look at the speed limit here, right, and yes, it does change. It drops down to 50 miles an hour, which is nice. It's all right, it's fine. But the speed limit then changes to 30 miles an hour. But the problem is, it's only illustrated on the tarmac, not that I've noticed anywhere else. So if you have a look, see if you can spot any other signs other than the one that's printed on the road. Because believe it or not, even though it's printed on the road, which says the speed limit, it doesn't actually mean that you have to change your speed. It doesn't. It's only an indicator of what the speed value is of that road. But because there aren't actually any signs like your normal dustbin lid size ones that says 50 miles an hour or 30 miles an hour, those painted on the floor, yeah, that's just a reminder. But you've not been told the one you're going past is the one that says 50. Again, repeater, 50. But where's the 30? See, unless they've actually put new ones up, I don't know, but I've been down here a few times, and the only time it suggests that the speed changes to 30 is in the road. But as you can see, it's a white sign, it just illustrates that says 50. There's no change of speed limit yet, right? Until it says in the floor. Look, 30 miles an hour. Well, there's a stump there with fuck all on it, so maybe that might have been the sign that says 30, but there's no indicator. So realistically, if you went whopping through here at 50 miles an hour, they can't do fuck all about it, because there's no sign telling you to slow down. That one on the floor is insignificant. It's just to let you know, oh, they're in a 30 mile an hour range. Oh, is that right? Well, where's the fucking speed limit for it then? Makes sense, doesn't it, really, when you think about it? Nice and steady. It should go flippity flip, 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 flip. Yay! Brilliant. Awesome stuff. It worked. It didn't leave me standing. Oh, it has done before now. I pulled up to it and the fucking, it's like, it ain't working. What's going on? You have to do a backflip with the little gadget, the tag. You have to do a little flippy floppy. You have to flippy flop it for it to work. And off we go. We've done that bit now. We can carry on. See there, look at that. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, there's a castle over there. Is that? No. It's a church, not a castle. But it looks like a castle, though. It's cool. Probably didn't see it very well, mind you, whatever. And it ain't far up here actually now where we've got to get off. At least I don't think so. Did it really? Yeah, gotta be this one. Gotta be. It is. Would you like me to slow down for you? Alright then. It's not bad. We ain't done too bad. How long are we going for? 1 hour 45 minutes so far. Ah, well, I hope. It's not a bad little drive, is it? Like I say, it's the motorway, it's the M4. We've just gone all the way along it, and that's it. There's no... Yeah, I mean, it's just nothing, is it? I ain't got to worry about the indicator. Right, no, why is that? Because it's a continuation, James. That's right. Oh, right, fair enough then. Slowing down, down, down. Up to the island, turn left. Through the traffic lights to the next island, turn right. And you're there. Done. End of. Game over. It's very nice indeed. I like it a lot. I do. Oh well, what do you reckon? Okay. Did you enjoy that little drive down there? Was that fun? Did I entertain you enough? Is your head fucking spinning? Oh dear. Can you see the reflection of my truck in the back doors of that thing? That is weird. That's very shiny, isn't it? Very shiny indeed. Oh, yes it is. Oh, he's going the same way as I am. You know what that means, don't you? That means I'll be sat behind him until he moves to the gate. What time is it? Fucking 1:45 in the afternoon already. Fuck. It's going to be a long ass day today. I'll tell you that now. It really is going to be a long ass fucking day. Oh, hang on. He's good in the middle lane. Ooh. That could be different. In that case, I haven't got to do that, have I? Ah! I might cheat. Hang on a minute. I ain't going to go just yet. We'll see. If I'm on the bottom, I'll carry on for just a ticky bit, but if I'm on the top, I won't be able to. Right, what do I want? A piece of paper would be nice to file that. And I write the number down I need. That'd be enough. There for a moment. I'll be back in a second. You can always pull me in, mind you, because I'm still talking to you, obviously, but you know what I mean. Oh, man. Oh, that's better. Oh. Fucking ass. Right at the top here. Fucking aches like a bastard, it does. Ooh. Yeah, I know. Right, let's go get this sorted out. Wow. So going in the bottom's a lot quicker than staying around the top, because on the top can be a bit of a pain in the arse. You don't tend to hang around as much when you're on the fucking bottom. Come on, stupid machine. On to the weighbridge. When he decides to open the gate. Oh there. Right, let's put my coat on. La 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 da dee dee. Coat on. I think I'm on the weighbridge properly. Right. Down the bottom we go. So I'm not mistaken, he's following the green line, I think. Following the green line. Beep beep, beep beep, beep beep. Yeah. Don't tend to come down here very often, but at least we do come down here sometimes. Like I say, it's much more amicable. You tend to get done quicker. So it's, yay, that's what we want. You want to be able to get out of here, get on off up the road. Well, that's it then. Let's go and park on the left hand side here, and I will say cheerio to you lot. I hope that I haven't bored you too much with all the waffling about fucking that, this, that and the other, but if you've enjoyed it, just let me know. You know what I mean? Give me a comment down there, see what you think. Anyway, I'm going to go, and I will speak to you a lot later. Have a good day and all that. Go on then. You know what's coming next, don't you? Go on. Off you pop. Pop, poppity poppins. Boing, 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 boing. What are you doing, Jace? He's popping off!